Hola y buenos días. Yo soy el señor Maurice. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Today, we'll begin studying a new unit called La Escuela. La Escuela. Now, you may remember that we saw this as one of the community services in our last unit. There it is. Do you remember that? And now, this is a great unit to study because you have all of the things that we'll be studying in this unit all around you. As a matter of fact, teachers, you'll find a list of items in the classroom in the Learning Partner Guidelines on the vocabulary and useful phrases for teachers pages, okay? Okay, you might want to go ahead and find those and pull them out so that you can use them during this unit. Now, you also might want to make some labels in Spanish to tape to things that are found around your room, okay? You might want to put chairs, tables, books, all of those things. Now, today we'll also look at the numbers up to 100 and introduce a couple of new questions. But let's begin as we always do with our canción de saludos. Canten conmigo. Hola, hola, buenos días, bienvenidos, ¿cómo están? Todos juntos ya estamos listos para aprender. Muy bien. Well, I tell you what, let's begin by looking at the numbers up to 100. We start off with these, and you may be familiar with these. Let's go ahead and look at these. Repitan todos. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now these are the digits, okay? The digits 0 to 9. And just like in English, these are based, all of the numbers are based on these digits from 0 to 9. Okay, so if you can learn these, try to learn these well, and it'll help you learning the other numbers. Well, after 9, what do we have? Después de 9 tenemos 10. Okay, now in English, these are the teens, what we call the teens, right? Once you get down to 13. Well, just like in English, the Spanish numbers are kind of irregular. They don't hold to a pattern. Okay, so we have to learn these. 10, 11, 12. And you see the 12 looks kind of like the dos that we see from the digit 2. 12. And then 13 comes from the tres that we see in this digit here. 13. Then we have 14. And that comes from the cuatro, 14. And then 15 comes from cinco, 15, 5. And after that, the numbers get pretty regular. Okay? So we'll say 10 and 6. 10 y 6. 10 y 7. So we're saying 10 and 7. 10 y 8. So that's 10 and 8. And then 10 y 9. 10 and 9. So once you learn the digits really well, 0 to 9, it'll help you in remembering the rest of the numbers. Okay, so we have the digits 0 through 9, and then we have the tens. And all of these numbers are in the tens because they all have a 1 in the 10 spot. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. See all of that? Well, let's look at the rest of the tens. Okay, the first one we've looked at, 10. Okay? Then we have 20. 20. Repitan todos. 20. Now, remembering our digits, we can see kind of how they play into these numbers here, into the tens. Remember the 3 was tres. Well, over here, 30 is 30. 30. And you see the tres, you can see right here in this 30, the TRE, 30. Then cuatro becomes 40. 5 becomes 50. And you'll notice that these numbers are starting to have a pattern here. They end with the NTA, NTA. This one is NTE. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then you remember our 6, when it's in the 10 spot, becomes 60. 60. And you can hear 6, 60. Okay. And then 7, 70. Do you hear that? 7, 70. And then 8 becomes 80. And 9 becomes 90. So you can see the similarities between the digits that we had in the 1 spot, and once they become tens in the 10 spot, how the names are the same. Well, now just like we finished up with our tens here by saying 16, 10 and 6, 17, 10 and 7, we continue that way here. So if we have 21, that's 21. 21. If we have 30 and 6, the number 36, it's 36. 36, or 30 and 6. If we have 79, that would be the 70, 70, y 9 for the 9, so 79. So the pattern in naming the numbers through the rest of here remains pretty much the same. And that's very much like we do in English. When we have 60 and then 6, we call it 66, 77, 79. We name the tens, and then we name the digits. When we do the same thing in Spanish. And after we get to 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 y 100. Repitan todos. 100. Very good. Now, one of the ways that you can use numbers is to respond to this question. The question is, ¿cuántos años tienes? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Now, if you look down here at this word, ¿cuántos? If you remember from our question words, ¿cuántos is asking what? How many? ¿Cuántos is how many? Okay. Años are years. Años. Years. Then over here, this word tienes means do you have? Do you have? Tienes? Do you have something? So, ¿cuántos años tienes? Literally means how many years do you have? Or how old are you? That's right. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? So, if someone asks you, ¿cuántos años tienes? You would have to answer this way. I have so many years. And in Spanish, that is tengo, right here, tengo. And then you tell them how many años. So if you're 8 years old, do you remember how to say 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you were 8 years old, you'd say, tengo 8 años. I have 8 years. Okay, so now that you know that, I'd like everyone to turn to a partner and ask the question. Okay, so everybody get a partner. Okay, turn to your partner. Who's ever taller will ask first, okay? The taller person asks first. Ask your partner, ¿cuántos años tienes? Go ahead and ask your partner, ¿cuántos años tienes? Okay, very good. Now, partner, you answer them by using this form, okay? Tengo años. Can you say that? Tengo, tell them how many, años. Okay, very good. Well, I tell you what, let's switch it around. Let's switch it around. And the person who answered the question the first time will ask the question this time. So go ahead, first person you ask, ¿cuántos años tienes? Okay, second person, you answer them now. Tengo años. Okay, and remember your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you answer according to that. Okay? You're all doing a great job. Right now, I'd like for you to review the numbers with this video. Pongan atención y repitan todos. Los números. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Muy bien. Well, we'll go over the numbers again, but maybe you would like to make some flashcards or something in your rooms to continue practicing on your own. Okay? Ahora, tengo una pregunta. ¿Quiénes dan los servicios en la escuela? Okay. ¿Quiénes dan los servicios en la escuela? And now we've seen some questions like this before. You remember quiénes from our question word board. It meant who. Dan los servicios. Servicios, you remember from last unit, services, en la escuela. And we've talked about escuela, is school. ¿Quiénes? Who gives the services in the school? Pues, ¿quiénes dan los servicios en la escuela? Now, you guys put your heads together and think of all of the people who work in your school. Who works in your school? You can even put me on pause if you want to have a discussion in your classroom. Think of all of the people who work, and there are a lot of them. But we can't name them all. But we'll start today by introducing 3 groups of people who do work in your school. Okay? The first person we're going to talk about is the person who's in charge. They direct the school. Okay? And if it's a woman, she is la directora. And if it's a man, it is el director. So, la directora o el director. Very good. And that's the person who's in charge. What do you call that person in your school? You might call them the director of your school, or you might call them the principal. That's right. Somebody else who works in your school. This person who is probably in your classroom with you right now. Okay? Oh yeah, look at, he's got his apple there. What are these people in English? Teachers. That's right. Well, if it's a woman in Spanish, she's called la maestra. Or if it's a man, he's called el maestro. La maestra o el maestro. And there's one other person who works in the school, very important person, and you probably have dealings with this person. They run the school a lot of times. That is la secretaria. La secretaria. And this is a cognate, so that should make this pretty easy. La secretaria. Now, you may have a gentleman working in your school who's called the secretary, but if we put el secretario in Spanish, that would be like a secretary of state, and that's a little bit different thing. So when we refer to the person who works in your school, we'll refer to la secretaria. Okay? Now, I hope you got those written down, maybe made some notes into your Spanish notebook somewhere, porque ahora vamos a ver la hoja de actividades. Now, today's activity sheet covers the people that we talked about today who work in the school, and it also goes over the questions that we've been asking over the course of the year so far. Go ahead and start off by writing your name. Voy a escribir mi nombre, Roberto. Okay, now the directions say, look at the pictures and see if you can unscramble the words that go with them. Okay. La, el, la, Well, I think I might know this one. I'm going to give you some help, and I'm going to look at this one first. This gentleman, there he is. He's got his apple. Okay. He is el maestro. El maestro. So there he is. El maestro. I'm going to leave those other two for you to finish later. But let's look at the bottom of the page here. Write the answers to the following questions. And here's the key. Tengo años. Estoy me llamo or vivo en So if someone asks you, ¿Cómo estás? Which of these answers are you going to use? ¿Cómo estás? You'll say, estoy, what? You might say, estoy, and this is what I'd say, bien. Estoy bien. But you remember we talked about some other possible answers. Now, each of these questions you may have a different answer to. So go ahead and work on those individually and put your own information about that. Muy bien. Next lesson, we'll begin talking about some of the other people who work in the schools. Pero saben que ya es la hora de despedirnos. For our goodbye song today, I'd like to sing De Colores. That's a beautiful song that I really enjoy. Canten todos conmigo. De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores son los pajarillos que vienen de afuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir, y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Canta el gallo con el kirikiri, kirikiri. La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos los polluelos con el pío, 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 pío. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Muy bien cantado. Until next time. Adiós. Hasta luego.